You're at first, Mayor. We're on this right here.
Right. This is a confirmation of appointment to Civil Service Commission. I selected Howard Erickson, and this is why this is my reason for selecting him. Howard is a square shooter, a man with integrity, an educated self-thinker, who not only has had experience but also understands the working of the city of Pacific. I think you would be an asset serving on the Civil Service Commission.
Discussion from council?
One question I have is, what are the civil service requirements for filling vacancies? I don't have the civil service documents in front of me.
I thought oh, you don't have it here.
Well, I see it right here.
And it was in the packet.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now. Thank you.
It's 2.64.050 is the last section, filling a vacancy, provisional and temporary. He's looking up some information to ask a question,
Okay.
right?
You can
It's just the information, fine.
Go ahead.
I can't hear very well.
Okay. So, was there something else you'd like to say?
No, I don't.
Any other comments
Thank you.
from council?
Well, the concern I have is, I'm just looking at this as appointed by the mayor and confirmed by the council. Okay, I just want to make sure what the process was. Because, didn't we already have tried to appoint Howard before?
Yes, I did.
And
I'm
you was turned
appointing him
down.
the second time.
Any consideration or concern for the other two applicants that were applying?
Yes, I had consideration, and my selection is on Howard.
Okay.
This applicant here, this Aubrey, is a perfect applicant for the Civil Service Commission.
Can I ask, on the other applicants, Mr. Aubrey is a prosecuting attorney, he's got legal experience. Why did you decide against him?
I couldn't hear that.
Why did you choose Howard Erickson over Aubrey?
Yes.
Why? Why did you not pick him?
Why? I read Eddie Aubrey's resume. It's impressive. But I thought that Howard would be a better man because he understands the city. He's been a mayor twice. And I'm convinced that he puts the city first in his consideration. And that's an asset that I think overcomes what Eddie Aubrey wrote in his resume.
Anybody else have a statement? Or?
No, if we take a poll, I wouldn't vote it down again.
Well, that's my concern, is that we've already addressed Howard in relationship to this position, and the council has already, if I recall correctly, unanimously voted him down. So, unless something's changed, I don't see how this is going to go through. So.
You voted him down the first time. I heard the comments why you voted him down. I believe that you voted him down because you hated him.
Is
You
that-
put-
Are you identifying a
you
particular
put-
person with this hate?
Let me
statement?
finish.
I don't have to necessarily let you
Let me
finish.
finish.
Because-
I have the floor. I think you put an act of prejudice against him. Because I see no reason why the council should put and consider prejudice in selecting a man. Howard has all the qualifications, I think, that would require for him to contribute to the Civil Service Commission. First and foremost, as I said, I'll repeat, he has a city in his heart, and that is an asset that I'm looking for. Whether he's been selected the first time and the council turned him down and putting him up again. And if the council turned him down the second time, I'm putting him up the third time. Nothing can stop me from doing it. I'm done.
So, Mr. Mayor, am I to understand that you would not be willing to entertain a recommendation from council for that appointment?
I feel that as a mayor, I'm the one who's working with the Civil Service Commission. As of the last hearing, I represented the city. You weren't there, the board members weren't there. I'm always working with the Civil Service Commission. So, whoever I select, I think it's justifiable.
Any other comments from council? Council's pleasure? Not even move it forward? Nope, not even entertain it? Okay. We will not move that item forward. Okay, next item on the agenda is the discussion on letter of understanding with the Teamsters Union and with the Teamsters.
Let me get to the letter of understanding of the Teamsters Local number 117. Summary. The collective bargaining unit members recently met and voted to increase their contribution rate to the wage diversion to Western Conference of Teamster Pension Trust by 25 cents per hour effective February 2013. Recommendation by the Teamsters is to move this recommendation forward for the February 11th council meeting. It's self-explanatory, unless you want me to read the contents of the Teamsters local proposal.
Not necessary, Mayor.
Thank you.
Comments from council?
Are they already making contributions right now?
Yes.
Yeah, this originally came to council for their initial diversion. This is an increase in the amount of that diversion. So no,
Everybody received the letter.
and as I understand, no additional administrative costs, we're just one-time changing it by 25 cents an hour for how much their deduction is.
Correct. Okay, so my
And
question.
in no way opens the contract or does any changing, bargaining. There was some concern regarding the mayor sitting in on the meeting that was for the representatives. That management should not have been in that meeting at all, no management, but, anyway, so that's an issue that will be brought up in the future. And there was another concern regarding, the mayor's signature on this, as far as, because it's in our ordinance, in our policy that the mayor does not negotiate, so it was a little concerned whether that looked like he was negotiating, but it's just a change. And so with council pleasure, I thought this was gonna be changed where it was like the city clerk or the finance director would be in agreement with this, because all it is, it's just a technical, it's like technicality, it's just changing that amount. But instead, this isn't changed. It still says the mayor on here, really isn't changing anything. And so with council's pleasure, just move it forward. Is there any other discussion or concern?
Well, make sure legalities are proper as far as the MOU letter.
And then has this been sent to Ken? Okay, so,
He gets a copy of the entire package, just like you guys.
okay. So, and he'll be here, but I'm pretty sure that everything's okay, and, you know, there was a discussion, we're not opening, we're not changing anything in the contract, everything.
The only thing I was just thinking is that, you know, in our ordinance and with the how legalities and everything else are written, down the road, somebody could pull this out and make a challenge on whether it was authentic or not.
Councilmember Holton?
The mayor exceeded his authority in negotiating something without council approval, even though there is no fiscal note to it.
Well, and it's not even a negotiation, it's what the employees wanted and came to. They voted amongst themselves and brought it forward. The mayor was in that meeting, should not have been in that meeting. That was the meeting of the represented employees with the union, so the mayor should not have been in there.
But yeah, the union agrees that he didn't negotiate anything with them. He happens to be there when they decided
Right.
it themselves.
Exactly. So, but you're right, and that's my concern with all this, and maybe that's a question we need to ask prior to Monday's meeting on who signs this document for any precedent setting or anything like that, because it strictly states that the mayor does not negotiate.
Yeah. I suspect he still signs it as executive, just a magisterial signature to recognize that we are changing the agreement, even if it's just a 25-cent change in their cost. But it should, I believe, be the mayor's signature, but yeah, it should not, there shouldn't be any appearance of him negotiating. He's just going to sign after it's ratified.
Right. And that was my understanding as well, so that's why I'm asking council's pleasure on moving it forward as is.
I'd be fine with it as is. Just wanted to put clear on that.
Yes,
I didn't call the meeting. The union representative called the meeting. She asked me to attend the meeting and to have it here in the city. I attended the meeting. I didn't say a word. I just listened to what they had to argue, to say. After the meeting, she asked me for my opinion. I said I got no opinion, and I walked out. I was invited to it, and I responded. I didn't say a word. I didn't commit to the city, and I let them have their meeting.
any other comments from council? Council pleasure? Next item on the agenda is the discussion, preventative maintenance service agreement with ACO Insurance. Lieutenant.
Fred and me were under contract with Universal Refrigeration to maintain the air conditioning and the heating elements located in our building that's shared by both the police department and the fire department. Our contract is expiring, and what we try to do with our vendors is, because we share the building with the fire department, so we try to be consistent by having the same vendor instead of having, the fire department using one vendor and the police department using another vendor. And it's a shared cost item. So the fire department is using this company, Tackle. And so we choose to be consistent with using the same vendor as the fire department. They provide those services, provide no-net services that are presently being provided, and we thought that this would be the best way to go.
Questions from council?
I have a question there, maybe probably of Betty. Would this eliminate some bookwork if they build half to the VFRA and half to specific, or how would it be billed now? Because I'm trying to, this is just another bill that we don't have to keep track of and make sure that one person or the other has transferred to 50%, if that's what it is. Does that make sense, or am I agreeing?
It makes perfect sense to me, but not all vendors are willing to split bills that way and bill two different people for one service.
Okay, well, that's why, should we ask these people right away whether they can do it? They can't
They
do
can't
it, it
do
doesn't really have any bearing, but I'm trying to eliminate as much of this
If they can do it-
keep track of that you have to rebill to somebody else their share of the bill.
If they can bill two separate bills, half to the VFRA and half to the city, that would be wonderful. If they can't, then we have to, one or the other has to pay it and bill the other team, yes.
Okay.
I think presently, the way we do it is Stephanie, she handles the bills, and I believe we forward the one bill to the city, but we indicate that we share with the,
And then the city has to send a bill to the VRFA before they'll pay it.
Any other questions from council?
So it makes sense to have one vendor, because when you have two mechanics working on the same system, each one's gonna fix what the other one did.
Well, and it seems to me you get double bills.
And we have called-
They have a show-up fee and all
and we
that.
have called it in before, when Universal Refrigeration had told us, hey, sorry, we can't make it, on an emergency type call, and they have responded and they provided excellent service, when called upon.
So is there, what is their price in comparison of Universal?
I talked to Stephanie about the pricing, and she said they're a little bit more expensive, but she feels that the service is better.
Any other questions from council?
I would say that, if this is a vendor that has all the VFRA stations and whatever, it would go that way, we would have more horsepower in talking to them than we do when we're both on.
And they're
Building
reputable, I
something.
can tell you that.
Huh?
And they said they're a reputable company, I can tell you that.
Okay, well, I guess, then my only thing is be sure to check with them and see if we can, two separate billings, that would just save Betty some additional work. And some additional work on Stephanie's part too. If they can't, it don't make any difference, they can have them do what they want, but.
Any other questions from council? Okay. Thank you, Lieutenant. The next item is regarding the copier, so I guess we get to speak to this more.
Our contract with our copier is expiring, it's not already expired, and we've been in this situation before when we had to make a decision on whether or not to continue with what we have or get another vendor. And based on some pricing that we've done previously, we met with these people and we chose to go with the music office and automation to provide the future services regarding our copy machine and servicing. And based on our meeting with them, they think that we'd be saving money, not a whole bunch of money, but, we'd be paying less than what we're paying now.
Questions from council?
Is this the same service that we have in, over here on our copier service, separate? Have we talked to them about whether they'd give us a better deal if we included the police copier, or can we even do that, do we know?
With our people, we could talk to them.
I'm just curious, you know.
Our service, we wouldn't be able to do anything on our copiers right now to change to this person because they just did the copier change over here.
Well, that's why I'm asking whether, you know, I don't know. It's just a question whether we, so maybe something between now and then we could find out if they, I don't know.
And, you know, I mean, this is a company that, we have not used before, but, you know, we can try them for a year. I mean, it's not costing us anymore, it will cost us less. And if we don't like them in a year, we'll give them 30-day notice, and, yeah. Here we are.
Sounds good. Any other questions from council?
I've worked with them before, a previous company, and they had great service, so.
So you're familiar with this particular company?
Yeah.
Well, we were pretty impressed with their professionalism and the meeting with them, and, the service that they believe they can provide for us. We're satisfied that, really be happy with them.
I noticed this is under the state contract, so the question is, being
That is correct.
deal.